There's this modern mystery we see all the time online, the digital ghost. We all know someone like this. They're active, they comment, they're part of the conversation, but their own photo is nowhere to be found. Today, we're going to decode what's really happening inside their minds.
Okay, so you know exactly who I'm talking about, right? You see that default gray silhouette, or maybe a picture of their cat where their face should be? You scroll through their profile and zip, nada. No selfies, no group photos, no vacation pics. It just feels a little off.
And what do? Our brains just leap to conclusions. It's so easy to label them. We figure they've got to be insecure about how they look, or maybe they're just super paranoid. We might even think, are they antisocial? Are they trying to hide something? These are our go-to surface-level judgments. But what if I told you all of that is probably dead wrong? What if this behavior isn't a sign of something missing, but a sign of a totally different and maybe even more advanced mental operating system? Because the psychology behind it is absolutely fascinating, and it totally challenges everything we assume about being online.
All right, let's peel back the layers here and get into the hidden logic. We're going to break down these psychological patterns that drive someone to become a digital ghost. And trust me, it's about so much more than just not liking how you look in photos.
Okay, so that first assumption, they're paranoid. The psychological reality is something way more intentional. It's a concept called strategic self-disclosure. This isn't about being anxious or hiding from the world. It's a conscious choice. They're not afraid, they are deliberately separating their participation online from broadcasting their personal identity. They're drawing a clear line in the sand that, let's be honest, most of us have let get pretty blurry.
And here's where it gets really interesting, because it actually comes down to brain chemistry. For so many of us, every single like and comment is a little hit of dopamine. It lights up our brain's reward centers. But for digital ghosts, their reward system is just more self-contained. It doesn't run on that fuel. It doesn't crave that constant feedback loop of external validation to feel good.
Come on, be honest. How many times have you heard someone say this? Or maybe even thought it yourself? Oh, they're just overthinking it. What's the big deal? It's just a photo. Well, that exact thought, that dismissal, actually leads us right into the next key psychological pattern.
So what we might dismiss as overthinking is actually a really sophisticated cognitive skill. It's called temporal consequence mapping. That's a fancy way of saying they have an enhanced ability to see the future ripple effects of something they do right now. They get, on a deep level, that a photo posted in 1 second can live on the internet forever, seen by a future boss, a future partner, or just ripped completely out of context years down the line. Their brain is just wired to weigh that long-term consequence way more heavily than any short-term buzz.
All right, let's hit the next assumption, that they're just anti-tech, that they hate their phones. But the real psychological driver here is something called autonomy preservation. This is a powerful, fundamental instinct to control your own identity. They aren't rejecting technology itself, they're rejecting the idea of handing over the keys to their entire life story to some big tech platform.
This gets to the heart of it. They are maintaining what's called narrative sovereignty. Just think about that phrase for a second. Narrative, sovereignty. It's about being the one and only author of your own life story. It's about resisting the algorithms and corporations that want to take your personal story, archive it, and then monetize it.
Okay, this one's huge. We so often assume that someone who doesn't post photos must lack confidence, but the reality could be the exact opposite. They are actually free from what's called impression management exhaustion. You know what that is. It's that draining mental fatigue that comes from constantly curating the perfect online you. They're not stressed out. They're relaxed because they've put down all those masks.
And really, that's what it all boils down to. So much of social media is a performance, isn't it? We're on a stage with a constant audience, always wondering, how does this look? What will people think? Well, these folks have simply decided to step off the stage. It's not a sign of fear, it is a full-on rejection of the performance itself.
Okay, so when we put all these pieces together, the strategic disclosure, the different reward system, the long-term thinking, the need for autonomy, we get to this really powerful conclusion. It's not about being weird or broken, it's about running on a completely different mental operating system.
And listen, if you take one thing away from this, let it be this right here. Their brain's wiring isn't deficient, it is just different. It's not a flaw. While many of us have adopted to this new world of total self-exposure, these individuals are just operating on a whole other set of cognitive priorities.
So what does this different wiring actually prioritize? Well, it's a pretty clear list. It consistently chooses privacy over exposure. It values autonomy way more than validation. It favors long-term thinking over that instant gratification. And it seeks deep, real connection over just superficial engagement.
So, the next time you come across that blank profile picture, maybe you'll see it a little differently. Not as someone who's hiding, but as someone who's thinking on a whole different level. And that leaves us with one final question. In explaining the psychology of the digital ghost, did we maybe just explain a little something about you?